Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope all of you are doing good at home. Let us see what is the topic for today. Today we are going to study about population size. What is meant by population? It is a group of organisms of the same kind or species living in the same place at the same time. A population may increase or decrease due to some factors, and these factors are birth rate, death rate, immigration, and migration or emigration. Each and every term we discussed already in the class. Population growth. It is the change in a population over time and can be quantified as a number of individuals of in a population. Then, population growth rate (PGR) is the rate at which the number of individuals in a population increases in a given time period as the fraction of the initial population. That means the comparison. Then again, factors affecting the rate of population: birth rate, death rate, immigration, emigration. Birth rate means the newborn cases to the or the number of newborn cases into the place. Then death rate, the number of organisms are dying from the area or the place. Immigration, number of organisms coming into the area. Then emigration, which are migrating from the area. Then the birth rate exceeds the death rate. The population naturally increases if the number of births is greater than the number of births at any given time, or if the death rate is slower than the birth rate. Next is about a graphical representation which is known as sigmoid growth curve. The sigmoid growth curve is also known as logistic growth curve, and it is S shape. So this is the growth curve, sigmoid growth curve. X-axis and y-axis you can check time and growth. Then at the beginning you can see here there is a very slow increase in the population and it is referred as lag phase. Then in the middle you can see there is a rapid increase and this is known as log or exponential phase. And at the last or at the top you can see the growth is getting steady. That means there is no more growth. That phase is known as stationary phase. So three phases of the phase: log, exponential phase, and the stationary or steady phase. When a few organisms are introduced into an area, the population increases very slowly in the beginning, and this phase is known as lag phase. It may be due to the less number of reproduction and the problem of adjusting to the new environment. In the middle phase, the population increases become very rapid, and this phase is known as log phase or exponential phase. This is due to the more number of reproduction and the organisms adjustment to the environment. Then finally, in the last phase, the population increases and it stops. And this phase is known as stationary phase. The level beyond which no major increase can occur is referred to as saturation level or carrying capacity. And this is denoted by the letter capital K. In the last phase, the new organisms are almost equal to the number of dying cases, and thus there is no more increase in the population size. Once again, sigmoid growth curve. Lag phase, log phase, stationary phase. Then the term carrying capacity. Again, in the sigmoid growth curve, the growth rate increasing very slowly. Then at the middle it increases rapidly, and at the top it decreases or it becomes steady. By that time, that area or the population becomes or it attains the carrying capacity. What is meant by carrying capacity? The carrying capacity of a biological species in an environment is the maximum population size of the species that the environment can sustain indefinitely, given the food, habitat, water, and other necessities available in the environment. In population ecology, the carrying capacity is defined as the environment's maximal load. That means maximum number of organisms can be fit to that environment. Carrying capacity was originally used to determine the number of animals that could graze on the segment of land without destroying it. Then there are some limiting factors associated to this population. What is meant by limiting factor? Limiting factor is the factor that stops the population from getting any larger growth. Food availability, space availability, deforestation, any diseases, growth of predators, natural calamities, etc. are the limiting factors in a population. So each one already we discussed in between. So when there is no food, no more growth in the population can occur. When there is no space for the organisms, the population will not grow. Then the deforestation can affect many organisms population. Then if any diseases comes to the population, the number of death rate increases and the population cannot be increased. Then when the predators number increases more, then the prey or the previous level of organisms will be less in number, so the population will be affected. Then other natural calamities also can destroy the population or affect the population. And here comes the end of the topic population. So study the definition of population, then the factors affecting the population rate, birth rate, death rate, immigration and emigration, then sigmoid growth curve, lag, log and stationary phase. Lag means a slow phase, then log is the exponential phase, then stationary or steady phase. Then carrying capacity is the maximum number of organisms can fit into the environment. Then limiting factors which stops the population growth. Examples are also page number 170 270 textbook. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. See you again. Bye bye. Take care.